Hey friends, it's Miss Seward again. Why do I always start off like this, you guys? It's so weird to record in videos instead of teaching you in person. But I guess it's better than nothing at all. So what I was trying to tell you is that today you're going to write a summary. And instead of just saying, we've done summaries, you know how to do it, I figured that I would make a little video reminding you how to take the somebody wanted but so then chart that you wrote yesterday and turn that into a summary today. So what I did was I made my own somebody wanted but so then on Hair Love right after I read it to you in that read aloud that I posted on Google Classroom. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you my somebody wanted but so then, and we're going to turn it into a summary. And where we're going to write our summary is on a Google slide. We've never done this before, but I'm going to show you how to do it. I think it's pretty easy. I'm going to show you how to do it on here. If you cannot do it on here, if it is giving you too many problems, you can check with me and I'll try to help you. But if you're having a hard time, don't freak out. Don't worry. You can always write it on paper and send me a picture just like a lot of you have been doing, all right? Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to make this small, and I'm going to go all the way to the beginning of Google Classroom where it shows me all of my classes. And I'm going to go to Miss Seward Demo. You are going to click on Reading. You know that by now. Then it's under Classwork, you guys. And it's just going to say Summary. And when you get there, it's going to say watch the video and then complete your summary in the Google Slides attached here. The video is this right now that I'm filming, so it's not on there. But it will be right here next to this Google Slides. There's going to be a video of Miss Seward. Watch that video, which if you're hearing me say this, you're watching it. But this video is what shows you how to do it, okay? So then you click on that. And it's going to open this up just like this, okay? And if you notice, I can't move anything. I can't move where it says name. I can't move where it says my summary. I can only type where it says type your name here. So I'm going to type my name, Miss Seward. You will type your name, Silly Gooses. And then it says type your summary here. And it has it to where I can type my summary. Okay, so first, now that you see how to get into that, let's go back and look at Miss Seward's somebody wanted but so then. That's not it, is it? Silly Miss Seward. This is it. So the somebody, remember the somebody is the main character in the story, right? So the somebody in Hair Love was the little girl, Zuri, right? And then what did Zuri want? I asked myself, what was the main thing that she wanted? Yeah, she wanted her dad to try to fix her hair, but the biggest thing in the very beginning, what she wanted was her hair to look perfect for this big day. And we don't know until the end what the big day is, but we know that that's what Zuri wants. Her big thing is that she wants her hair to look perfect for the big day. But in this book, her daddy couldn't do it the way that she wanted to. He tried to put a hat on. He picked it out till she had an afro. She did not like any of the ways that he did it. So her daddy couldn't do it the way she wanted to. That was the problem. So that's her butt, right? Then, so they ended up watching a YouTube video on how to do it. And then he did it perfectly, right? That was how they solved the problem. He couldn't do it the way that they wanted it, so they watched a video and learned how to do it. Then, at the very end of the story, how did the story wrap up? Her mom came home, and she thought that her hair looked beautiful. Now, we've learned what a paragraph is. A summary should always be a paragraph. I want you to think to yourself right now. I'm going to give you a second to think about it. I want you to think to yourself, what is the writing process? What is the writing process? We've been learning the writing process all year long. All year long. As a matter of fact, you guys, Miss Seward wasn't going to do this just yet, but I bought this brand new little whiteboard so that when I'm doing these videos for you, I can help you. I can write and show you things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up. I hope you can hear with this crinkly noises. I'm going to open up this whiteboard I'm going to make the camera bigger for a second. Okay, better. Goodness gracious, I mischievous. Okie dokie. And let me turn that up too, so that you don't see the reflection. It doesn't bother you. So let's see if I flash my computer. Anyways, back to our topic. Okay, so we have, ooh, this is hard. That's okay. The writing process. Right? Oh, it's backwards, isn't it? I think I can flip it afterwards. So it won't be backwards. So if you're seeing it now, it's probably not backwards. Anyways, so your first step of the writing process is what? To think. Your first step of the writing process is to think. And when we're writing a summary, that first part is really thinking about the story we just read, reading the story, and then thinking about that story we just read, right? So, reading and understanding, and that's important, standing the story, right? That's our thinking part, right? And then the second part of the writing process, I should have written it before I asked you. But the second part of the writing process is to plan, right? We plan. So our plan is when we write that somebody wanted but so then chart. It's our graphic organizer. That's how we plan, right? That's how we make a plan. We have our ideas on paper of what we're going to write, what we've been thinking about. Now we're writing it out on paper to get an idea. Oops. That's okay, guys. This is all okay. We're learning. Then you draft. You do your first writing as a, oh my gosh, as a paragraph. First writing as a paragraph. So you're going to do that, right? That's your draft. You're going to write it all as a paragraph. Remember, you guys, remember that your paragraph is all your sentences together. There's not skipped lines. There's not a sentence on each line. When you go in between the two red lines, right? You go in between the two red lines and you just keep going until you go to the next one, okay? Now, you might not write this one on regular paper since we're going to write it on our Google Slide, if you can. But that's just a little remember, okay? And then you edit, which is you correct your mistakes and rewrite your paragraph. So you correct your mistakes and then you rewrite your paragraph. Now, I know we've learned the writing process all year, but I wanted to give you a quick reminder, and I wanted you to see that because we don't have our Google in our classroom because we're not in our classroom. So that was just a little reminder, but you did the point. The point of all this, Miss Stewart got off on a tangent to remind you that the point is that you did your plan, right? You read a story yesterday, so you did the thinking portion, and then you did your plan, your somebody wanted but so then. Now we're going to go ahead and do a draft, and I think that we can kind of do our draft and edit it and then rewrite it all in one today. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your somebody wanted but so then and turn it into a summary. So that's what we're about to do with Miss Stewart's somebody wanted but so then. So we're going to take this, right, and I'm going to go back onto our Google Slide that I showed you how to open up in the beginning of the video. and we're going to write our summary. Now, I want to teach you a little trick. See, really quick. See if you can remember what goes at the very, very, very beginning of the paragraph. Before the first sentence, before you ever start writing, something goes there. If you said indentation, you were right. I know it's tricky. I know we're having trouble remembering it, and that's why I really want to remind you. So you can indent. One really cool thing about a computer is you can still indent. Now, here's what you can do. You have two choices. You can hit this button. I want you to watch this cursor. This little blinking thing is the cursor, by the way. That little blinking line is where you're about to start typing. I want you to look at that, okay? And I'm going to click this button on the left side of my computer, on the keyboard, right where it says caps lock and shift and stuff. I want you to click tab. Did you see my cursor? It says T-A-B, tab. You see the little blinking line moved over. Okay, if you can't find that on your computer, what you can do is hit your space bar. I know you know what the space bar is. The big long button that you click to make spaces. You can hit it 5 times. So watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it makes your indentation so you can start writing, okay? So I'm writing a summary of a story. A summary of a story is telling somebody what the big details of a story are, right? So I'm going to start writing, this story was about a little girl named Zuri. Simple as pie. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I just introduced my main character, right? In the story, because, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself again. First, let me close that so we stop opening it accidentally. Before we move on, I want to show you. I did my somebody, right? I'm going to change colors so we know. I introduced my first, introduced my character, right? I said who the main character was. Now I want to do the wanted, okay? So in this story, Zuri wanted her hair to look perfect for her big day. Let's just put a period. You see how I used the word wanted? That helps me to see where I am and making sure that I'm adding in everything, okay? So wanted her hair to look perfect for her big day. So I'm going to change the color on that, so we're moving on. But, so I can say there, okay. The problem was that her daddy could not do her hair the way she wanted it, right? That was the problem. And when you're writing a summary like that, usually when you're writing your own story, you don't want to say, but the problem was that her dad couldn't do her hair, because then there's no like build up of the information. But when you're writing a story, when you're writing a summary, you're telling the reader that you're telling somebody who might want to read this story, a reader, what the problem was quick, because you don't want to give them all the important details because they still are going to want to read the book, right? You don't want to give them spoilers, okay? So we told them what the problem was. Her daddy couldn't do it the way she wanted it. So how did they solve the problem? To solve the problem, they watched we can make YouTube capital because YouTube is a certain website, right? YouTube is not just, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to put a YouTube video because it never said YouTube in this. I made a connection to YouTube because that's what we're used to, but I don't know if it was actually YouTube. So let's just say they watched a video. Now I'm going to go back. I forgot how I wrote it on my somebody wanted but so then, so I'm going to go back. They watched a YouTube video, but we're going to take that out on how to do it, and he did it perfectly. On how to do hair, and he did it perfectly. Yay. Okay, so we included that. So I can change the color so that I don't redo it. And you see how I kind of edited while I was writing? I kind of took out the YouTube part because I decided that I didn't want to put that in. So I made just a little edit while I was writing my paragraph. So last thing. Then her mom came home and thought her hair looked beautiful. So we're going to say, at the end, her mom came home and thought her hair was beautiful. And that's a summary. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I just wrote a quick summary. Let's reread it. This story was about a little girl named Zuri. In the story, Zuri wanted her hair to look perfect for her big day. The problem was that her daddy could not do her hair the way that she wanted it. To solve the problem, they watched a video on how to do hair and he did it perfectly. At the end, her mom came home and thought her hair was beautiful. See? That was easy. I just took exactly what I put on my somebody wanted but so then, made it into sentences in a paragraph, okay? If you have any problems with that, let Miss Seward know. You should be able to do it because we've done it in class, and this video should help you a little bit, but this video is a little crazy. Thank you guys so much for, I'm going to say a phrase, for bearing with me, and that means for dealing with it. You guys have really been pros at dealing with things all school year with Miss Seward being a first-year teacher, but this is like a double first-year whammy because teaching online is crazy. Having to video myself and not knowing if you guys are understanding what I'm saying and not being able to fix it on the spot with you is hard. So just know that it's hard for me too, but don't let that stop you from asking me questions. Ask me questions. Tell me if you don't understand because we're going to get better at this together. Okay, I love you guys so much. I will see you soon.